Hello everyone, I'm Jonathan Mahalik, and today I'm going to be talking about the importance of the Quakers in American history. And to start with, the Quakers from the beginning had been a radical group, both in England and in the United States. Those who were around them saw them as distinct or even fanatical in some cases. But by the time of 1891, a Unitarian, Robert Fry, said that the Quakers no longer stood out. This is not because the Quakers had changed in their ideology or their beliefs, but because society as a whole had accepted the best ideas of Quaker beliefs and made it part of its own. So today we're going to be looking at three particular areas in which the Quakers had a big impact on American history. And the first area is in that of religious toleration. While lots of different groups came to America for religious freedom, very few practiced it as unhypocritically as the Quakers did. The Puritans had religious freedom, but only for those who followed their beliefs. And same with the Anglicans and so on. For the Quakers, as William Penn said in the Pennsylvania Charter, this freedom is for anyone who believes in one God. And if we look at America moving forward from there, what America practices today is a whole lot more like the model started in Pennsylvania than that of Virginia or Massachusetts. A second area in which we see Quaker impact on American history is in the anti-slavery movement. While it's true that the Quakers as an organization never advocated for a complete abolition of all slavery, they did abolish slavery among their membership and were among the first religious groups to do that. And many early anti-slavery advocates were Quakers. Of course, the most famous impact of the Quakers on slavery is in the Underground Railroad, where many Quakers would become conductors on this railroad and assist runaway slaves. But the legacy of anti-slaveryism starts with the Quakers. And the third and final area we're going to look at today is the criminal justice system. Jails prior to the early 1800s were places of punishment, where we separate criminals away from the rest of the world and torture, abuse, punish them in any way possible. The Quaker idea of every person has an inner light inside them, it led to the thought that perhaps if we give people the opportunity to reform themselves, they will take that opportunity. So Quaker ideas of justice focus more on correction, rehabilitation, restoration to society than on punishment. And in the early 1800s, the Quakers start establishing what are called penitentiaries, where again, the focus is on reform rather than punishment. And this is reflected in our justice system today, in which most states still refer to their jail system as the Department of Corrections. This is kind of a throwback to the Quaker idea, where you separate criminals to reform them. So while Quakers no longer are a major force in American politics today, they do still leave us an example of a denomination that was committed to changing their society and was highly effective at accomplishing that change. And even today, in these three areas and many others, we can still see the impact of devout Quakers who lived out their faith in their society.